Sometimes to understand the grace of God, you need to put yourself in the shoes of others, people who have enjoyed the favor of God, the grace of God, to enjoy the grace of God, to attract the grace of God. Imagine yourself in the position of people like Daniel, people like Esther, people like Joseph, people who enjoy the grace of God, and see whether you'll be able to do what they did to attract the grace of God upon their lives. Hear me, grace are in levels. There are different levels to the grace of God. The deeper you go in Him, the higher the grace. People like Zerubbabel, what they went through and how they endured and how they were able to enjoy those things and come out triumphantly. If you are in their position, will you be able to do what they did? Will you do better, or will your case be worse? Imagine yourself in the position of Daniel, a young man with promise of a brighter future, and the mighty king laid siege to your city, reducing it to ashes. Your friends were slain, and the streets ran red with the blood of your people, captured as a prisoner of war. You were forced to march for miles. No food, no water, no rest, and no hope of freedom. Your captors subjected you and the others to relentless torture. You coughed and vomited blood, while your fellow captives lay severely injured. But no physician was permitted near them. Every time you tried to help, you were cruelly denied. Deep in the wilderness, deadly animals became your companions. And in truth, you found more comfort in their presence than in the brutal hands of your merciless captors. You were once royalty, now dragged among common men. Your fine robe had been reduced to filthy rags, and with every step, hope seemed to fade further away. Once in command, now fear of being struck down consumed you. As you lifted your eyes, a distant city came into view, offering brief relief, until your captors shouted, "Keep moving!" Each command was followed by a lash, forcing you onward. You ran for your life, hunger disappearing as your sweat turned to blood, and your saliva became your only source of water. All you could remember was the explosion that destroyed your home. And now miles separated you from the ruins of your once thriving city. In the distance, unfamiliar sounds filled the air. Music, laughter, instruments you didn't recognize. The people looked different, their joy fed by your suffering. As you turned, your heart sank at the sight of your pre-sacred robes hanging from a tree. You wondered what fate had befallen the revered man, and tears began to flow. While you stood in disbelief, you saw soldiers playing with the instruments once used in worship, desecrating what was sacred in your city. Anger welled up inside you. Just as you were about to roar, you felt a hand rest on your shoulder. Imagine yourself in the position of Daniel that we just talked about, and see all he went through, and yet he didn't shake. His love for God was solid. If you had gone through all of these things that we just talked about, will your love for God remain steadfast? I pray the grace of God will rest upon you, and I pray you become empowered to continue to love God. God bless you. I'm not just saying.